Hi, welcome back to another video. I'm Alise where we talk about mindset, music, and happiness. And last week on Mindset Monday, I talked about this right here, how to get from your reality to your dreams, and why little changes are better than what we think big changes, right? We think we need to make these huge, big, life-changing decisions to get to our big dreams, and that is not really the case. So if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it. I'll link it up right here. But today we're going to be talking about something way more powerful that stops us from doing what we love. Okay, so we know maybe the tactics that get us from a reality to our dream life, but there's something that is holding us back. And you can get all your habits in place and your systems, but this one thing, if you don't get it right, you can have all of this right, but it won't mean much without correcting this thing first. So I'll see you soon. So here's the thing. Like, I've been wondering a lot about, you know, there's this saying that we know what to do but don't do what we know, right? And you'll see that a lot. Like, we have all the knowledge and we know what to do and we talk about a lot what we want to do, but we never really go out and actually do it. And I've been just like fascinated by that. And like, especially as musicians, like we have these goals we want to reach and these dreams that we have, and that's good, that's great. But for some reason, there's something just blocking us and stopping us from actually going after that. And because, I mean, let's be honest, like nowadays we don't really have a lot of excuses to why we can't get what we want, because it's not a resource problem. Like, we have all the tools that we possibly could need to be successful, right? Through the new music industry era, there's not much we can't do on our own now because the gatekeepers, they're gone, or not gone, but we don't need them anymore, right? Social media has opened a lot of doors for us, and Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Shazam, like all these tools are here, right? So it can't be a resource problem, and it can't be a know-how problem, because we can Google and YouTube literally anything nowadays. Like, it's just with a click of a button, we can get all the information that we need. And, before that, like, people had to go to a library or find an expert and talk to that person specifically, or, I don't know, it was either like meeting people up in person or reading their books. And nowadays we have the opposite. We have an overflow of information. Like, there's so much information out there that we just don't know what is real, what is just like fluff, what is just someone's opinion. But we do have the know-how. Like, we know how to do our things, right? But something stops us from getting from that, reality over here to our dream life. And it's obviously, you need the right habits in place. Those are the practical tools, but there's something that stops us before we can even implement this over here. And that's our brain. Yes, this thing right here. So here's the thing. This is a quote by Tony Robbins, or I don't know if it's by him, but at least that's the first person I've heard it from. So I'm just going to credit him for that. But obviously he's amazing. So if you don't even know who he is, go check him out. He's like the number one expert on, it feels like, everything, but he specializes on like mindset and, you know, how to get your ducks in a row and stuff like that. So I love listening to all his stuff, but basically what he said was this, and this changed my life. Our brain is designed to keep us safe, not happy. Let me repeat that. Our brain is designed to keep us safe, not happy. This thing up here is our survival software. That's it. So our brain obviously is like so complex, and to this day we still don't even know a fraction of what it actually does and how it does it. But bottom line, if you want to make it really, really simple and you want to take all these things that our brain does, bottom line is it is a survival software. Right? It has all these mechanisms in place to be like, okay, if you cut yourself, then this is gonna happen. If you break a bone, we're gonna send adrenaline through your entire body so you don't notice it that much, or it's not as painful. And you know, all these, your body basically has systems in place that when this happens, then your body will do everything in its power to keep you alive as long as possible. And that's a good thing. I mean, that's how the human species has survived so far, right? And that's good. But nowadays, we do not have to run away from you know, tigers or lions or bears. Well, not as often anymore. Maybe from a dog, your neighbor's dog or something like that. Maybe you gotta run away from one of those. But basically the threats that we're facing now are very, very different. And our brain can't keep up with the speed of how fast things are changing today. Like right now, the iPhone 12 or 13, I'm not even up to date, but like I think it's 13 was just announced like last week or something, and probably when you're watching this it'll be like iPhone 20 or something like that, right? And it'll just be like in a span of maybe a couple of years. And this is the fast-paced society that we're living in nowadays. Because of the internet, everything is going so fast. Information and technology is evolving, and everything's getting faster. And so our brain doesn't have the time to kind of adapt to that fast enough, because it's had like either like hundreds of years or thousands of years even to like adapt to this. But now everything's happening so fast, like we can hardly keep up, right? I don't even know what iPhone we're on right now, but I think you get the point. Like our brain has a really hard time catching up with that. And so again, because this is a survival software, its favorite tool it likes to use on us is fear. So, coming back to the quote I just said at the very beginning is, people know what to do, but don't do what they know is out of fear. We're scared. Every single one of us is scared of something. And it may not even be like reasonable, or, you know, something where you're like, oh, this is such a stupid fear I have, or it might be very logical or reasonable or whatever. Like whatever your brain can basically come up with to stop you from doing what you want to do, it's a win for your brain. And it doesn't have to be explained, right, or logical. Be like, oh, that doesn't even make sense that there are monsters under your bed. Doesn't matter. Like as a kid, it scared you. Right? It doesn't, it's not anyways. As long as it creates fear in you to stop what you're doing, your brain won. And so, I mean, some fears that, you know, pop up a lot that I see, especially under musicians, is like self-doubt. Like, am I good enough? Am I good enough of a musician? Are people gonna listen to my music if I put it out? Like, fear of, you know, rejection, fear of people saying no to my music or not liking my music and then messaging me about it and telling me what crappy songs I have. Like, these are more logical reasons, but really legit fears I've been, talking about with musicians on my podcast, the Musician Secrets podcast. You can check it out on all streaming platforms. Basically, everyone is scared of something, and sometimes even multiple things. So here's the reason why your brain likes to use fear. So we kind of talked about what fears we have or face as musicians, but here's the reason why the brain likes to use fear. So again, fear can be a good thing. So fear, if you're scared to jump down a cliff, that's good, because that will keep you alive. Again, the brain is all about keeping you alive as long as possible. So if you're scared to jump down a cliff, that's a win. If you're scared to tackle a bear, that's a win for the brain. It's like, you should be scared of that. Yes, because I want to keep you alive. So fear in itself is actually a good thing. And again, that our bazillion-year-old brain is programmed that way, because it's like, if you're scared, you're gonna either go into fight or flight mode. In case of jumping down a cliff, it's stop you from doing what you're doing. Or if somebody breaks into your house, you will grab a baseball bat or whatever you can get and start fighting for your life. Or you'll try to hide and whatnot. Like, everyone is different. But that's what fear is really for. That's like the positive aspect. But the negative side is your brain wants you to stay in your comfort zone, right? Why would it want that? Well, because if you're in your comfort zone, your brain can predict, more or less, of course, because life is not 100% predictable, that's for sure, but it's the most predictable it can be, right? And in our comfort zone, our brain we have our routines. That's why our brain likes routines. It likes habits. It likes things that it knows that it's always pretty much going to be there, that's predictable. And as soon as we try to do something that we're not used to, and that can be learning a new instrument or trying to produce for the first time, like things like that, but because they're new, our brain doesn't like that, because again, it's not predictable, so it can't know the outcome of what's going to happen. And if it doesn't know the outcome of what's going to happen, then it could be potentially dangerous. Even if it's just potentially dangerous, like learning a new skill like producing is not dangerous, but your brain doesn't know that, because it's like, I don't know the outcome of this, I don't know what's gonna happen. And so and if something could be potentially dangerous, it could probably die. and again, your survival brain's like, I can't let that happen, right? So it just uses fear right at the beginning, right? So like, if your brain is smart, it's like, oh, if my job is to keep you alive, and I can just the steps, right? If I can just jump all over them and just get you to have fear, to do anything new in your life, to go for this dream, to go to a new country, to tour Europe, to learn a new production skill, to learn a new instrument, to message this management team, then your brain is like, alert, I don't know the outcome of this is not in my comfort zone. This could potentially be dangerous because I do not know the outcome. So it goes like worst case scenario, and it's like, that's not gonna happen. And that's why your brain just kind of goes all over the place and is like, nope, that's not gonna happen. And so your brain wants you to stay in your comfort zone. But my mom used to tell me, there's no growth in your comfort zone and no comfort in your growth zone, right? So if you want to grow as a musician and as a person, you need to get out of that comfort zone. If you want to get from reality to your dreams, then you need to get out of this comfort zone. And there are a lot of, once you know that your brain is just a survival software and has all these tricks and uses fear for you to stay where you are now, then it's very easy to actually reprogram your brain and be like, oh, okay, I know what my brain is doing. Like, okay, I'm gonna just silence the survival brain and I need to go from my head into my heart. And that's what Tony Robbins says a lot of the time. He's like, when you're in your head, you're dead, right? Because so if we're in our head constantly, then it's our survival brain talking, right? And again, fear is good to a certain extent. But if we want to go and achieve our dreams, and if we want to do bigger things as musicians, if we want to level up our life really as a musician, then we need to face our fears. And the best antidote against fear is action and gratitude. So unfortunately, I don't have that much time to like talk about all of this. This is like, I'm just scratching the surface here about like our survival brain and how to overcome that. There are like all the tools that, not all of them because there are, again, so many, but I put together an online course that you could check out down below. It's called the Brain Trickery Course, how our brain stops us from achieving our dreams. Or you can go to alisekoa.com/MSB, so short for Musician Secrets Bundle. And you can check out everything there that I have about, the brain and how you can trick it back into going from your survival mode into actually taking control of your life and achieving those dreams. Because again, you can have all the know-how, you can have all the right tools, you can have all the resources, but at the end of the day, we don't know what we do, or we don't do what we know because out of fear, because our brain uses fear to stop us to get out of our comfort zone. That's basically the only thing it does. It's like, oh, I like staying in this comfort zone, and it will do anything to keep you there because your comfort zone is predictable. As soon as you get out of your comfort zone, it's unpredictable. And again, if something's unpredictable, it could potentially be dangerous. And your brain doesn't like that, right? It wants to keep you safe. And so that's the video for today. Again, if you want to learn more, the link is down below. It's the Musician Secrets Bundle that you can pre-order now and learn more and deep dive and get the tools that will actually flip that switch inside your brain. And you can actually use that as your advantage if you know how your brain works. It's really cool. And you can be like, no, not with me, not today, brain. I got this, I'm taking control. So if you like the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell for more videos because there are gonna be way more coming for sure. And we're gonna be talking more in depth about all of this. So if you wanna be the first one notified as soon as my videos come up, then subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.